All right, welcome everyone. Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, episode 46. Congratulations, Muta. You're on your way to Houston to continue your astronaut training at NASA and with a regular color uniform.
Yep, you're
Fantastic.
in the blue. You're in the proper astronaut blue. The
No
NASA
Power
blue.
Rangers, assembly here. No, not doing that.
Yep.
No.
That would have been something. I loved the silliness of it. The JAXA director.
Yeah,
what
good
was
news
his name?
and bad news.
Nasuda or what have you. Absolutely silly guy.
Yep.
But having also just these five together, or six? Five. Yeah, five. Having them all just actually like hanging out as a group with other astronauts that are going to come in probably with their own groups. Maybe some of them will come as duos, maybe one or two here and there.
Let's meet
isolated.
some new characters from all the other different countries,
Yeah,
space programs, and all that stuff.
Yeah, but like other group dynamics, like other teams and stuff, and the way they'll all mingle and stuff. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Yeah, I think he is
Putting on his
actually.
uniform.
Or taking it off. Switching to something else. No, he was changing it on. Okay, yeah. Is that the airport? Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah. I'm going to wear this the whole
with
way
Apo
there.
in tow.
Uh-huh. Remember
Wait,
this
we know
afro.
this guy.
Yeah.
Yes, they would. He sticks
you
out
do
like
it,
a
dude.
sore thumb.
You wear it with pride. Everyone else shows up and they're not wearing their uniforms.
That's actually a really cool shot. Now that I think about it, most of the time when I'm in a plane flying up or I guess down, I'm not looking at the airport, so I don't see that overhead shot of the planes all sitting in.
Oh yeah, it really did make it look small.
Yeah, I'm like, that would actually look really cool.
Now they're actually having a nice meal as they send him off. Oh.
Oh, this is sweet.
So much food.
Glasses Chan is definitely like playing her part well.
Yes.
Yeah, she's doing it.
Yo.
No, she's done it.
Yeah, she's done it.
She was so like controlled and measured earlier, and now it's just sobbing quietly. Just
Yeah. Silent tears.
Yep.
Yeah. Not in her astronaut uniform.
Not at all. We found Muta. He was really easy to spot. Everyone's clothing decisions. While Serica's here in like heels, like thick heels. Oh, cute family videos. Yeah.
今でも彼らは子供みたいだけどね。
Just a little bit. Yeah.
ケイちゃん、こっち来て座りなよ。もうちょっとでできるから。
Just getting their family lives and stuff.
最近よく手伝ってくれる。
Yeah, because we gotta get to know actually like everyone in our Japanese crew that's headed down.
Yeah, because we hadn't really spent much time with her
having a
before.
hambagu, just proper
Beef and sauce.
proper comfort food,
4人のやかましい兄弟を手なずけたエナだ。4人の宇宙飛行士が相手でも余裕だら。
Ah, big sis Enna. Yeah.
私なんかよりめちゃくちゃしっかりしてるんだからね。見習ってほしいよ。うちのたるんだ弟どもにも。
たるんでるぞ、キコ。髪を切れ。
俺か大介なんかプー太郎だ。
These are all brothers? They
Damn.
look nothing alike.
They really don't.
このハンバーグ、ケイちゃんが作ったの？
Just call it hambagu. You don't have to change the subtitles to Salisbury steak. Don't disrespect little sister's cooking, calling it a Salisbury steak.
合格って聞いたときさ、
I'm calling
父
out
ちゃん
the
泣いてた。
fan subtitlers.
I'm sure there was a
20
point
years ago.
when saying that, you know, when a Salisbury steak was a
10
good
years ago.
thing.
Yeah.
そりゃそうかジュークだしで
あー
も女っぽくねって特にキク兄がうっさいよ
Yeah, you do.
What does he know?
宿命か
Yeah, they bookend the siblings. That's fun.
な預けた親父も悪いなで
Nah,
も
you're
ゲイ
proper
って名前
cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, you're proper cool. Like,
入り取りなんかで名前決めるエナ直樹
oh. Oh, interesting.
適当だよこれ
No, they didn't, I guess.
すっごく合ってるよゲイって
But they unified all of you. And
Yeah.
now you're a big bundle of chaos together.
There you go. That's a good spin on it.
Yeah. We can say that, you know, as a 5 kids family.
Right.
You know, like, yeah.
3 of us with J as the first letter.
Yeah, exactly.
悩んでんのだってさ何にな
Yeah,
り
you're
た
at
いと
that
か
age.
よくわかんない
Everyone's telling you you should know, but you don't know for sure, but you have ideas, but you
And
don't
you're-
know if you should commit to those ideas. And yeah,
And your oldest sibling literally just became an astronaut.
sure.
例えばピアノ弾けるようになりたいとか
Does she want to be like
いいねなりたい
a creative of some kind?
とかマスターしたい
Oh, she knows all the things that she likes. Like her younger sister likes, yeah.
ようなものが一個でも見つかればいいよね
And you don't have to have that be the thing that you make money off of. Like, you really don't. Like,
But it sure helps if you do.
well, it sure helps if you do, but it's really important to have that hobby passion that has nothing to do with money, too.
Right. Because
Because you need to focus on self-improvement. You need to focus on having purpose that isn't tied to that. And, you know, it can be hard to fit that in, but if you prioritize it
right.
enough, it might mean cutting out a bunch of other things, but...
頑張ってね
Oh,
ありがとう行ってくるよ
that's really special. There's probably almost like 10 years between them, you know?
Sure.
In terms of age and stuff, but...
Okay. What is it? Not gonna say yet.
A chef. Yes!
Ah,
It was
nice.
when she saw the way she was
Yeah,
like looking
yeah.
at the hamburger. I
Yeah.
could tell she was like so proud. Yes, she's so
Yeah,
proud
yeah.
of it, but also like waiting to see what her sister would say.
Nice. Good catch.
Yeah.
お金取れるよ
Oh, that meant a lot. That meant a lot.
Yeah. No, I want beef.
よろしくね
Okay.
セリカちゃん
Yeah.
こちらこそどうぞよろしくあ小町さん発見
Oh my gosh.
Yep, and everyone's crowded around Muta.
Yeah.
実際無重力を体験してどんな感じでした
Real questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
どうだったの
そう
サインちょうだい
サインよーし
I've never done an autograph before. Yeah.
あれに名前書いたんじゃかっこ悪いしななんかそれっぽくぐちゃぐちゃって書いておくか
Oh no.
Oh no.
1号だよ
二度と書けねえけどさ
That was damn good for a first try on the fly.
ブルースーツを着てるだけでこういうことになるのか
They say the suit makes the man. I mean,
ムックあケンジ
やっと来た
And then he's,
やえらい張り切っ
they've all been here all
Yeah.
along. They just
none of them wore their uniform.
なんで今ブルースーツ着てんだよナンバー
Why wouldn't I be?
昨日紫さんからメールで
Oh my god.
俺なんて自宅からすでに着ていくからねじゃあまた明日
he knew only certain people would do it,
Yeah.
and he's not going to be wearing it, is he? Yep.
God damn it.
行こうか
God damn you, you son of a bitch.
What a goober.
But I mean, hey, I'd do that too. Not
You'd write the email or you'd wear the jumpsuit?
I'd wear the jumpsuit.
Ah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, shameless. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
I probably would wear it too.
僕とムックンだけだってさブルースーツ着用の
Oh, you didn't check who it was sent to?
Ah.
That's funny.
じゃあなんでてめえはブルースーツ着てねえんだよ
Yeah.
ムックンは最後まで見なかったんだね
No.
この本文のずっと
Muta missing something at the
Ah,
bottom.
shit.
Way down at the bottom. Way,
That bastard.
way.
That little rat.
そうピョン本当だ俺のも
このメールをどう取るべきか迷った。
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Because of the phone formatting, you have to scroll to see it. But if you were on like a PC or what have you,
Yeah.
it would
easy.
auto like show the entire thing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sure.
僕らのやる気を促すために紫さんが考えた
Yeah, good point.
先輩からのメッセージなんじゃないかと。
Nah, he was just trying to prank y'all.
He was absolutely trying to prank you.
ええから遠慮せんとツンツンツンって3回ぐらいやってみて。
I love her. She's crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
A colorful
vibe with
character
her,
for sure.
With her energy. Also, I drink balsamic vinegar, not for the health benefits, but
Yeah. I have definitely drank
with
it out of the bottle
marshmallows though,
before.
that's a bit.
That's a bit
silly.
much. Yeah, no.
余裕を持たせるコツの
Oh my god, and this voice actor.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
頼むから事故るなよやっとの思いで
Bro came from the Autobahn and is like,
Yeah.
I'm going hard.
移動時間ほど無駄なものはない。人生は短いんだ。
Wow. For a life lesson,
I mean,
okay.
I feel it, but damn.
何なんだあの人
Ah, the opposite here. The one who was here earlier, but
Yeah.
also
と向かうところです。
ああそうだビンス今晩さ暇だったら
19時にシャーロックスで。
probably hard to be friends with this guy.
Yeah.
Vincent Bold. Okay. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have some egos here.
I don't think there's any ego in it. I think it's
Sure. Big personalities.
もう入ってます。
今回君とラリー君に宇宙飛行士候補
oh, and this voice actor too. Yeah.
聞く前に言っちゃうよこの人じゃあまあよろしく頼むよ、
はい
ボールド君かぶせてくるな
Yeah, he's rude is what it is.
Right.
And I think it's because he just doesn't actually like care about other people.
Nah. I'm very
せっ
curious
か
how
ち
he
野郎
works on it too.
Oh, yes, not
Oh,
Muta,
yeah.
but it's about the ways that he
Sure.
and Muta will like, you know. Fun, yeah. Seeing his file right at the top here.
音に遅れを取ってる上にこの締まりのないふぬけ顔。
He looks like a fool.
血が多くて困る。
Did
将来同じロケットに乗る羽目になったら事態せ。
was this guy in the military?
Yeah, I
Because
think
bringing
so.
up them not being in the military seems
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think.
odd otherwise.
Yeah, I think he was in the military. Yeah.
選ばれた以上、元軍人として半端な訓練では終わらせ。
So he's
Yeah.
gonna go full drill sergeant on them?
In some ways, I'd kind of like that. Yeah, yeah. Because he's just not going to accept any nonsense, you know?
Right.
And in some ways, that'll be a way to shake everybody up and have,
テキサ
in
ス
some
州
ways,
ヒューストンや
all their
で
problems
なんや
potentially
むっ
come
ち
to
ゃ
the
めっ
surface.
ちゃ張り切ってるやんか
But also at the same time,
Yes, he's coming in his
stand out as
fool's
much as
outfit.
possible. Yes.
Yes, draw all
Fantastic.
the instructor aggro. Let's go.
本当だよ
You're just jealous.
俺は急いでスペースセンターに行かなきゃなんないんで
Uh,
あとはこまっちゃんよろしく
Oh, that dude will hate Muta.
see, like, there's something about having a shameless but responsible attitude with things
Yup.
that just bugs the people like Bold
Yeah.
that we're going to be getting here.
放課後から
excited.
訓練が始まるからな
Good. Letting them have some time to rest up and break themselves into this before they jump straight into training. Oh, Ozzy, yeah!
悪いねムック。僕まで。本当に止まってる
Hey,
の。
nice.
Yeah, of course.
一部屋空いてんだ
Oppo is happy. Cool. We're coming full circle.
力が効いて呆れるよ
なあムック。
Is it supposed to be always sunny or something?
I have no idea.
意外なことを聞いたんだよ。
何
毎回この2年間の訓練中にさ。いや、
A bunch of people drop out.
Huh? you can't do that.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah.
Right.
He was thinking like, wait, I probably actually shouldn't kill his hype or enjoyment or what have you.
Right, because the training hasn't actually started yet. It won't for a while. Like,
especially given that Murasaki already kind of got one over on him by like playing some mind games, you know?
Right.
Okay,
right,
we're
new character.
headed to NASA.
Yep.
We get a couple days plus a week to have our little bit of layback, kind of wind down time before we get revved up for training.
Right. Adjust to the new living situation.
Adjust to that. Yeah, we got to see a little bit of Anna's home life before she became an astronaut.
Awesome.
I love the idea of family get together means we watch old family videos from when they were like kids and stuff, and everyone's like, "What? That was me?
I was like that? Damn.
Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
yeah. That's also good fun. I love also big chaotic families and
yes,
sibling dynamics of like encouraging each other. It's wholesome. It's wonderful.
And I am glad that we got that because we didn't really have an introduction to her beforehand.
Really.
So it's like, because we're not gonna follow all three of the ABC groups, you know. So cool. She's the one that made it from there.
Yeah.
Now we get to meet her.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Now we end up having Bold being brought in, and he's a character.
Yeah.
Like, he is a very specific, unique, contradictory character because he needs to be the instructor, which means he needs to basically give people instructions.
Right.
And then wait for them to follow said instructions.
Yeah.
And yet his thing is that he interrupts you when you're asking him a question to give the answer before you finish the question.
Right. It's one of those things where, on the one hand, I see the potential logic behind it, but also it seems totally counterproductive given the situation of these people already going through all this rigorous training and like testing to get here.
Yeah.
And people this isn't going to be a surprise. People know that he does this, right? It's obnoxiously consistent of, I will talk over you all the time, you know? So that seems like he would be a terrible instructor.
Well, that's where I think in actuality, making him the instructor is actually one of the few places he would be good at. Because when I think of this kind of thing, there's usually an issue where when you get people to a certain age, like I would assume he's in his mid-30s at the youngest, like the youngest. He might even be older. I would say he's probably older. But you get people that are so locked into the way that they've done things like for at least a decade, you know, that you're not going to be able to teach that out of them.
Sure.
And so you need somebody that can basically be high output, high production. You don't care about their personal, way that they work with people. In a lot of ways, there's entire jobs in corporate kind of structures or even in like business, government or what have you structures where you have people whose only job is to facilitate the connections between the people because the other people themselves don't want to have to focus on that at all. They're just there to, program. They're just there to write, to output. And then it's just here's my data. I have done the thing. What is my next thing I needed to do? And then the person goes,
wheels.
Here you go. Yeah. So getting people specialized like that makes sense then why that he would be bugged by people's lack of special output.
And I could see it being something where NASA maybe, because of the whole scare with Hibito, is like, oh, we had someone that was a lot more balanced of an individual that was going to do the training, but given that we had a situation like that should have been, avoided or something like that.
It would have been easily avoided if they just followed proper protocol.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to have someone that will drill into them
a lot more
protocol.
strictly. Yeah, and that does feel connected, and that could be the explanation, and it might never be brought up because it wasn't even thought of.
Yeah.
But I like that one as a general explanation because this guy is going to make the training difficult for certain members of this astronaut hopefuls group, which they brought up in very quick summary that there's 30 of them in total.
Cool.
I liked the idea that there's a smattering of countries represented here, but a lot of the countries aren't bringing more than 2 people. So for the most part, 1/3 of them are from the U.S. Like that's the majority nation there, with Japan bringing 5. That's half the group already.
Right.
Like that's half the group already. So crazy stuff.
I also, and this is just like a little thing, because whenever I would see like stories and they'd have like the drill sergeant, type character, I always wonder like, okay, how would different types of people respond to that situation?
Yeah.
I want to see what this dude does with Makabe Kenji, because I feel like Makabe Kenji will be the most like, well, okay,
Sure.
not a lot to do here, moving
I
on.
will fine tune my round peg
Right,
to go into his extremely narrow round hole. You know what? There we
right.
go.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, damn fine work. All right, look at
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy. This guy right here.
Right.
I want you all to be like this guy right here.
He's going to be like, I'm not sure if I buy it at first. Puts pressure on. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay. Yeah. But
Then-
Muta, oh boy.
Muta has consistently had this thing brought up in that he's just Hibito's brother. Mm-hmm. I like that this is getting brought up again because this is something that needs to get brought up in that if you have people that actually thinking this way in the story, we have seen this, being like, this is good publicity, this is good for the country, this is a cool news story to have this
That
guy.
helps the space program in general.
Well, right, but also gets that lucky break because of things like the dog in the diner incident,
Then have someone that basically like checkpoints at multiple stages in the process to safeguard against nepotism, basically.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You should. And in a lot of ways, this is probably the kind of thing that would immediately throw a big red flag to him of like, I need to triple check this guy. Because
he does not look like, like if he sees him in the jumpsuit and with the hat and everything, he's going to be like,
hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a character coming in here as a publicity stunt. And the way that Muta has been conveniently propped up a bit in the news because of things he's actually done, but also things that are kind of convenient luck things. He doesn't necessarily know the difference. It's just I'm seeing the news.
While at the same time,
gotcha.
While at the same time, Muta is going to have Muta's, hyper fixation on like the things that feel off,
details,
on the details and stuff. I think this guy's actually going to really appreciate.
I think he will as well.
He's going to be like,
it's going to take him some time.
Yeah, like especially if they end up bringing up that the reason why he's here, like him specifically, is because of the whole, like scare with Hibito and Damien.
Yeah,
that he'll be like, right, yes.
Yeah. This is the personification of the math while doing the treadmill exercise that they did.
Like, I would not be surprised at all if they just bring up the, local recorded camera feeds of the suits. Well, no, they wouldn't have those yet. Maybe they could have been transmitted, once Damien and Hibito got saved.
But
basically so this is what happened with, astronauts that made it through our training and went up there and they almost died. So let's look at this, and as like a post-mortem kind of, but thankfully nobody died kind of observation of like, something that almost went very wrong. Who knows what he'll actually do and everything, but this guy will definitely keep the plot spicy.
Right. The part that I'm excited about is that Space Brothers has not had really ever any true antagonists that they've stuck all the way towards. They always humanize them to the point where I totally understand where they're coming from.
Right.
Going back to like Yasushi. I'm pronouncing that probably poorly here. Yasushi, Furia. But then also characters like Yamato or what have you, being people that were tough to deal with. But then when we actually understand where they're coming from, we go, oh, okay, I don't like them.
Yeah, they still need to grow and work on that and everything, but all right.
Yeah, I think what this guy, being one, given an amazing voice actor to do his role, I'm already excited in that regard.
Absolutely.
But two, if he's kind of prickly with it, I like the ways actually in which Muta kind of prickles back at people. He's very good at like staying in his own space and kind of
not like rising to the heat,
right? But I also like the ways in which he kind of like, I don't know, it seems like he'd be the kind of person that could also
he'll sass.
He might have some sass to him as well. And
yes,
I don't think anything could rattle this guy Bold or Vincent.
No.
I don't think anything could. He's a soldier. He apparently also is probably a soldier that was in the army for a decent number of years.
Sure.
And so if his, brain and the way he thinks about things has been hardwired to be efficient, you could have just said efficiency once,
Yeah, right.
I like that other people are going to come up with ways that he won't expect for that kind of long-term like strategic efficiency. And he goes, wait, did they just think about that from that many weeks ago or days ago or something?
Right, because all the people that he's dealing with are incredibly competent.
Well, decently like smart too. Like
right, yeah,
like,
exactly.
Pretty damn smart.
They might have certain things. Well, they will definitely have plenty of things that you will need to teach them, both about the specifics of the job of being an astronaut, but then also maybe general behavior. Sure. But these are still the people that passed the 0.01% tests kind of thing.
That's another interesting thing. If they're the people that are also brought to this point here, his line that he repeated of if I have to share a rocket with them, I might as well retire. What I think he's basically saying is I don't want to put my life in the hands of people that are going to take this any bit less seriously than I believe is, bare minimum.
Yeah.
And so I understand that, but if it's a viewing where he always frames it in a life or death situation, that might be where the soldier part comes in, is that he's been trained to everything is life or death. We just had the Hibito stuff where we were shown actually where everything is life or death.
Right.
And because they didn't take it seriously in that it's always life or death, they nearly died.
You're right.
And so the idea that Muta actually might empathize with that because he almost lost his brother.
Yeah.
Like, that could be a way in which they also connect.
I'm very curious how this dude would actually fare on a space mission because, one, guess what? Space missions are travel. So, there's that, right?
Like, true.
But then also just the idea that you have to work as a team, right? So him rushing people and stuff, and I would think he would know this, that's not helpful anymore, right? Like, because you could theoretically have something go wrong as a result of, rushing through things. And I imagine as a result of being a soldier, he's such a safety guy, right?
And that's probably where, again, you have specific roles that you get relegated to, why he's the instructor,
right,
in a lot of ways, and not the director of this whole the chief or what have you. He's probably hit the top of his promotional
journey.
And that's another thing that they could get into that I'm rather hopeful about, is that you want to look out for the people that have been sitting at the role that they've been in an organization for a long time, because what usually that means then is that they've basically reached the edge of not only their competency, but also their desire to grow. So they themselves have stagnated a little bit or are severely holding themselves back by either some kind of flaw or, what have you.
There's generally going to be a reason why. What is that? It could just be, oh, hey, they don't know how to do corporate politics. But it could be, they're
nobody
an abrasive asshole.
They
would not be good in a position of leadership or more power, right? And so this is where,
Yeah, if he was in a submarine, for instance, he would be the sonar guy. He'd just sit there and listen, and they'd be like, shut the fuck up. All you're there to do is to spit out the exact details when we call for it.
Right. And yes, if someone else is talking and you hear something that's potentially bad, yes, you talk over people and you say what it is.
You say what it is immediately.
Right.
Yep.
But just about anything else.
Just about anything else? No.
Like, I'm very curious how that worked in the military when he was because he does that with his superiors here in civilian life. But I imagine that wouldn't have gone over too well if he did that with his superior
That's why I think he's
officer.
a bit older, is that he's a bit distanced from the military side of things.
Oh, sure.
But again, these are all theories based off of a guy we just had 5 minutes with. So.
Right. It's a fun, aggressive introduction, so let's get more of them.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if anything that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.